Yes, guys, welcome back to Social TV. My name is Jacob. This is basically 1 hour before transfer deadline day closes. Now, this deadline day hasn't really impressed me, right? But we're going to go through some moves. Talk about, obviously, mostly the Chelsea news, but we're going to talk about some others as well. One big thing to happen is for Chelsea fans that want to bring in Mateta. I know there's been some very, very vague links. That could still potentially happen in the summer because him to AC Milan is finished. That's not going to be happening, which is interesting to know. We have recorded a Malang Sarr, who I think they're going to want to get a little bit of game time. Disasi, we haven't been able to get rid of him. Obviously, there's still time left, but I don't really think there's going to be much happening with him. I'm hoping that he can maybe come off the bench, but obviously with Malang Sarr coming in, where does that leave him? And obviously, my personal choice would be swap Malang Sarr for Tosin, and have Disasi just maybe there in a few, getting 10 minutes here and there, maybe play a few cup games and that. But yeah, that sort of thing. But it's an interesting one. I'm hoping Tosin will hopefully play a lot less, but I don't know if they're actually gonna give Disasi any chance. Josh Acheampong is not going anywhere, even though Crystal Palace expressed an interest in the Cobham graduate himself, Josh Acheampong. The owners see him as a big thing for the future. They don't want to get rid of him, which I can kind of understand. Obviously, Josh Acheampong is a really, really good player. Obviously, George has gone to Everton. I made a video on that the other day. Datro Fofana is set to join Strasbourg on a loan to cover for the injured striker at Strasbourg, Emmanuel Omega. And Anselmino is set to replace Sarr at Strasbourg. Which I guess it makes a bit of sense. Datro Fofana had some really, really good games for us. It was either last season or the season before. I really think he's got some decent potential, so I'm happy to see what he does at Strasbourg. I'm going to be really, really interested to tell, right? I think it's a hard one to tell, so I'm going to be very, very interested. Some other moves. Calvin Phillips set to go to Sheffield United on loan. I think he's going to tear up the Championship. Personally, I think he's a really, really good player. Obviously, injuries have struck him and things, and he's not on Man City's level. He never should have gone there in the first place for his career. But look, I guess it doesn't really relate to us too much. Sunderland agrees 17.5 million for winger Angulo. I don't really know much about him. I'm not going to lie, but Sunderland, who obviously we've got Sunderland away as our last away game of the season. Maybe them having a new winger is not really going to do us any favours, but no, it's not the end of the world, I guess, from a Chelsea standpoint. Nottingham Forest make third bid worth 25 mil for Celtic's Angles. Do hope Forest sign him because obviously Chelsea and Rangers have the connection. I really, really don't want Celtic winning the league. No offence to any Celtic fans. So, but then, and I don't think Forest are really going to be a threat to us. Let's be honest. I don't think Angles is going to really do him anything. He barely got game in time at Middlesbrough, I'm pretty sure. So he's not going to make a difference in terms of actual Chelsea standpoint. But obviously, for the Chelsea Rangers fan connection, we want one of their decent, better players leaving Celtic, right? Don't we? Which is interesting. Southampton loan Aribo. I guess it's kind of interesting to know, obviously, to Leicester. Aribo's is a pretty good player. He was, in my opinion, a lot better than he was a lot better than he is now. But yeah, it's an interesting bit of business. Villa loan out Jamo Aloba. Fulham reject approach for Harry Wilson. So Harry Wilson's not going to be going to Everton. With Everton putting Tyree George on loan, that's good news for us because then that means Tyree George is probably going to have more game time, even though Harry Wilson is predominantly a right winger. Brighton loan Gruder to RB Leipzig. Zinchenko, the Arsenal defenders moved to Ajax. I'm pretty sure it's permanent. And boys, Wrexham away is coming. Not Wrexham. Did I say Wrexham? Yeah, Wrexham. Sorry, I'm getting confused. Away is coming more and more likely in the next coming years. I mean, Wrexham are sixth in the league around playoffs for the Championship, and they've signed Bristol City's defenders Zach Weiner, who's gonna probably really, really boost them. In my opinion, he's one of the Championship's best centre backs, which might mean we've got a Wales away day next season. It's going to be interesting, potentially. Swansea, 15 points give or take around the playoffs. So I'd imagine two. It's probably quite unlikely because they are 15th, but 2 Welsh away days this season. That'd be really, really interesting. But yeah, this was about an hour before transfer deadline finishes. I'm planning to do a deadline review. Smash like, smash subscribe in a bit. You chills up the chills.